Don Lemon invades a church in Minneapolis. President Trump sends a heated letter to Norway, and a doctor's personal confession breaking the internet, setting it ablaze, going viral, that affects everybody, the entire world, and the media is staying silent. We've got so much to share with you today. Make sure you grab your favorite beverage, your favorite snack. Your boy Nez is going to take care of everything, and let's jump right into it. So the chaos and bedlam that has been going on in mentally ill Han and Tampon Tim's, Minnesota over the last 2 weeks has not only been a gigantic embarrassment, but it's been a absolute dereliction of duty on so many levels. And it just reached peak abject horrendousness yesterday when a group of paid agitators, paid protesters, which, by the way, there hasn't been one word from Klobuchar, Tampon Tim, mentally ill Han condemning this, offering their condolences, nothing. Stormed a church, harassing Christians in a place of worship, which is, by the way, illegal, which is, by the way, a crime, which is, by the way, trespassing, and they were all being led by the worst talentless hack to ever be given the moniker reporter, Fake Don Lemon. I'm not going to share with you the actual videos of what these guys did, but this photo, I think, says it all. I want you to direct your attention at the bottom left of your screen, and there you will see a father consoling his kid who is obviously horrified, obviously traumatized by these paid agitators going in, mocking, harassing, abusing, assaulting. It is some of the most heinous footage I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to share that with you, but I will share this clip of Don, the grifter Lemon, trying to take advantage, showing children fleeing the church, and then saying this. Watch.
This guy here, look, he's hugging his kid. And, you know, I imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but again, careful, it's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what really, careful, please, really slippery, not kidding. That's what protesting is about. And so,
you know, I don't like giving people like that a platform or giving them more exposure, because, you know, I fear, there's a part of me that fears that maybe this might actually help. Because controversy does sell, and he's been fired from CNN and nobody wants to hire him. And now he's an independent media guy who's spreading the worst kind of misinformation and mischaracterizations of what's happening in our country. But I think that clip really says it all. And I think it's emblematic of the entire corporate media, which is an apparatus that is aimed at attacking this administration, attacking President Trump, which in turn is attacking the will of the American people because he was duly elected in an open and free election. I don't know if you caught what he said there. He literally pointed towards, he directed his cameraman. Look at all the kids and parents fleeing the church, traumatized, uncomfortable. But that's what protesting's all about. Not only is he not condemning it, but feeling zero shame about what he did. Not only did he break multiple laws, trespassing laws, attacking people who were in a place of worship, and there was a pastor that really schooled him. That was really brilliant, by the way, but it didn't have any impact on him. But the fact that he actually has it in his head that he's in the right, that this is what protesting is all about, traumatizing young kids and forcing Christians. This is like, I mean, medieval. It's medieval type of evil that this absolute despicable thing, I can't even call him a human being, did. And I hope to God, there are reports that Pam Bondi and Harmeet Dillon, who's the Assistant Attorney General, are opening up a full investigation. Pam Bondi has said that she's going to go after this with the fullest rigor of federal law because, you know, the state officials aren't going to do anything. Tim's not going to do anything. Mentally ill Han's not going to do anything. The police aren't doing anything. And so I hope something comes of this. But the reason I'm sharing this is to show you this is who they are. You know, there's that old saying, my dad used to tell me this as a kid, when people tell you who they are, believe them. I'm just so disgusted by this. And you know what? I have a question I want to pose to you. Let me know in the comments. I think we should change what it's called when we go use the toilet. You know how we say, hey, I'll be right back, I'm going to go use the John? I think what we should do, especially when it comes to crapping, excuse my language, is we should say, hey, I'll be right back. I got to go take a Don Lemon. What do you guys think? I think we should replace going to the bathroom, going to the toilet, make it synonymous with this filth. I can't think of anything more appropriate. If you agree with that, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Okay, next, things are getting heated over Greenland. And by the way, before you guys, anybody jumps to conclusions, I just want to make one thing clear. We have been trying to acquire Greenland for over 150 years. All of a sudden, everybody has a problem with it when Trump mentions this. And so Trump really went on a kind of tear. First, he posted this saying NATO has been telling Denmark for 20 years that you have to get the Russian threat away from Greenland. Unfortunately, Denmark has been unable to do anything about it. Now it is time, and it will be done. So you have a provocation of essentially war. France, Denmark, Germany, they all sent soldiers to Greenland, albeit it was kind of a pathetic attempt. You've got the Prime Minister of Canada making deals with China and saying something that I'm going to play a clip that even made one of his state officials kind of wince and in shock. I'm gonna show you that in just a second, but I want to first share this letter in response to Norway and the Nobel laureates saying that Trump not only didn't deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, even though he ended 8 wars in a row, and he's probably going to go into Iran very soon. I'll share with you why I think that. But the fact that they're trying to bully the United States of America, and they're really treating the United States of America with zero respect, is just beyond me. Check out this letter. So the letter starts, Dear Jonas, to the Prime Minister of Norway, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopping 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China. And why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago, but we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding, and now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure. We have complete and total control of Greenland. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump. So I talked about this yesterday. There is geopolitical positioning and chess going on, the likes of which none of us really fully understand. But I will say this. Same thing I said in yesterday's video. When you've got China making deals with Canada, making deals with what should be our allies, but actually trying to invade literally the Western Hemisphere, which is our hemisphere, making deals with Maduro before we snatched him up and put him in his rightful place in jail. And then you've got the Prime Minister saying this on video, which I think is one of the most damning, disrespectful, treasonous things you can say. And when I say treason, not only to the United States, but to North America and the Western Hemisphere, I say President Trump has every right to take action. Check out what PM Carney just said. I want you to pay close attention to the reaction of this fella in the glasses right next to him after he says what is, I think, absolutely abominable. Listen.
Mine is the first visit of a Canadian Prime Minister to China in nearly a decade. The world has changed much since that last visit. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Those are chilling words. I can't wait to get your comments down below. What are your thoughts on those words right there? And on top of that, Arnie also said that he's willing to send troops to... This is somebody who's literally got no power, has no military. The Canadian people really love the United States of America. They love Trump. They want to get rid of this guy. He's worse in some ways than Trudeau. This guy is advocating for communist ties. He is a true blue communist. That phrase And that statement just confirms it. But on top of that, he says, I'm going to send troops to Greenland to defend Greenland's sovereignty from the United States of America. This guy is about to find out, man. He is effing around and he is about to find out. You know what you're doing, PM Carney? Because I know you and your officials watch this show. You're essentially setting up for a 51st state of the United States of America, the land that you're currently residing on. You need to stop effing around because you're about to find out. I can't wait to get your comments down below on that. President Trump posting this in regards to Iran. So there's no doubt that a free Iran would, have, a myriad of benefits, not only for the United States, but for the entire world. I've said that many, many times. But he posted this on Truth Social, a quote from Mark Thiessen saying, I predict Trump will visit a, quote, free Iran, a free Havana, and a free Caracas before he leaves office. Why would he post that if he had no intention of freeing Iran? Is he just posting it because he likes the idea of it? He likes the sound of it? I don't know. If you understand how President Trump's been playing chess, he's been right about everything for God knows how long. I think this is a bold endorsement of perhaps going in and finally taking care of business of Iran. I hope to God he will fulfill his promise, because the death toll is coming out by this terrorist regime. The numbers are harrowing, to say the least. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about something that the media, the woke corporate press apparatus, is absolutely mum about, completely silent. A new report just came out and said that monthly U.S. fentanyl deaths have dropped. Look at the arrows right there. Significantly. You can see right there, the moment that Biden opens the border, fentanyl deaths rose to astronomical proportions. And then as soon as President Trump came into office and closed it, look at the dramatic drop right there. And listen to what this doctor, a physician in an emergency room in Washington State, just confessed on a video that is breaking the entire internet. Watch.
I will tell you something that I haven't said publicly yet, and it deserves to be said. We were seeing 10 to 12 overdoses a day, and we are seeing maybe 1 or 2. Sometimes we go 3 days without seeing an overdose of fentanyl. So closing our borders and doing the things that he is doing, I am 100% behind. It really has made America better in the healthcare system, in the war against drugs.
Is it being replaced by any sort of drug? Are you seeing more of another sort of overdose? Is there some, because I'm thinking, the cartel isn't just going to give up, right? So is there a drug that they're able to get to the streets easier now that the border's closed and he's blowing up ships? So what are you seeing?
Well, methamphetamines is always easier to make here.
Yeah.
And we have seen maybe a slight increase in methamphetamines, but the significant drop in fentanyl overdoses is the most significant thing.
Fentanyl has literally been the bane of modern society for God knows how long. There are innumerable ramifications to this deadly, toxic poison. How many families have been ruined over this? How many cities, how many economies have been ruined over this? Let alone the unnecessary deaths of Americans in the millions due to this. We finally have an administration that said enough is enough. We finally have an administration that we all voted for that said, you're going to stop with this free-for-all, bringing your boats and narco-terrorist transports into our country. We're going to send you a very bold message. And what does the media do? You think the media is going to talk about this? You think the media is going to share this physician's reports and findings? Not on your life. What do? They villainize, they demonize, they attack the people trying to keep you, me, and our children safe. Make sense. Well, we know why. And I've said it a million times. They're importing their voters and they're protecting them, of course. But we need this video to go viral. And I need you to help me to tap that thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a thing. Please share this with everybody. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I love reading your comments, please. And let me know where you're joining me from. What city, state, country, and do a timestamp too. Say, hey, Nez, I'm watching from, whatever, Sacramento, California at 3 p.m. I love those little tidbits. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It doesn't cost you a thing. And as always, may God bless you. And may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.